Alright. Here we go again. Where we left off, he was gonna go back to the box where I don't know what is inside. And fate may happen. Let us continue then, once I find my place. Here we are. The path I only walked once in a blue moon. Curiosity got the best of me, and I wanted some closure. Within minutes I found it. Still sitting there, sad and alone among the broken concrete and overgrown grass. It didn't move. It didn't stand out as if it were special. It was an ordinary brown cardboard box. I didn't want to say I came out here for nothing, so I walked closer to it. As I drew closer, however, I began to notice something inside. It was brightly colored, multiple colors in fact, and it was quite small, maybe the size of a few-month-old Labrador puppy. I stopped beside the box and looked down at the colorful bulb inside. This is where I currently stand, looking into the box at a small something. No, I know exactly what it is, but my brain isn't allowing me to fully realize it just yet. At first I want to say it was simply a toy, left to die along with all the other things in this block. But then I saw it breathing. In fact, it appears to be sleeping. My hands are sweaty, my breath erratic. I'm blinking my eyes trying to refresh my vision. Each time the image stays the same. Inside is a sleeping filly, Rainbow Dash. Excuse me. Inside is a sleeping filly, Rainbow Dash. I kneel down, trying to get a closer look into the box. I cannot believe what I am seeing. There is no physical, mental, or extraterrestrial way how this could be here. How she could be here. In my gloomy, dark, and horrid world. I examined the box further, and on the side, in simple pen, says, "Give to good home." The first thought that runs through my mind, besides the internal Philly Rainbow Dash in the box, is give up a Philly Rainbow Dash. My mind is now a mess of questions. How did she get here? Why is she here? Why is she a filly? Her flake is even barren of her cutie mark, meaning she is indeed a filly. As I stand to stretch my tired legs, I accurately bump the side of the box with my foot, and the inevitable occurs. She wakes up. She looks around, rubbing her face with her foreleg, trying to wake herself up. At first, all she sees are brown walls of the box. Then she looks up at me. Those large black eyes, along with the rose-colored rim around them, drive my heart in two. And as the meme goes, exploded. Twice. The sheer cuteness of it all drives me to kneel down, and I cannot hold back a smile. I haven't smiled like this in years, since the last time me and my parents went out to the only remaining park in the area. Her eyes continue to stare at me, and I stare back. I don't know what to say or what to do, but I must start somewhere. "Hi there." I speak, but she doesn't respond. What are you doing here?" She looks around, then back at me. The more I study her, the more I realize she is really young. Years younger than her Philia parents in that episode 23. She might not even be able to talk yet. That is, if she can talk in my world. The fact that she is even existing right now has me reeling in confusion. I return my attention back to her and notice a small shiver of her body. The fall season is here, and it can get pretty cold, especially around mid-September. I'm not sure how to exactly tackle this situation. To take her home? To call someone? Who would I call? I'm a closet brony, so none of my friends know about my love for the show. Haha. I can't take her to the shelter. That's a stupid thought in the first place. Not only would it be a horrible sight, she might be taken off to some lab and experimented on, or something just as equally horrible. I have only one choice. She shakes one more as the cold air reaches her coat. Her wings ruffle as she lays back down and huddles her legs closer to her body to get warm. That's the final straw. I can't take anymore. I take off my own jacket and reach down and pick her up. I get the eternal response I expected. Fear. She begins to squirm around, unsure what I'm doing to her. Giggity. She can't fly yet, but still she flutters her wings as in praying for a miracle to happen, that she does magically take flight. I set her into my jacket, wrap her up so that her head is sticking out, and hold her in my arms. She was continuously squirming, but then my body heat begins to finally seep through the thin jacket, and she settles down. It's alright. Let's get you somewhere warmer, huh? I smile again at her. She looks up to me with much confusion in her eyes as she tries to process what is happening. Don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's getting late, and you'll freeze out here. I think she understands me, for after I say those words, her eyes return to their normal size, and she snuggles herself more comfortably inside my jacket. She squirms a little, trying to get into a more comfortable position. I can feel her hooves and wings poking me as she shifts. Then to top it off, she rests her chin onto my arm and let out a deep sigh, closing her eyes to drift off to sleep. My heart explodes for the third time. How about the fourth? If it has to explode twice, as the meme goes, why not the fourth time? Sorry, getting sidetracked. The entire walk back, I keep an eye out for other people who could pass by me. I don't want anyone else to see her. Selfish. I have no way of knowing how they would react. As usual, though, I don't see a single person. It's midnight by the time I get home. Fortunately for both of us, I had turned on my porch light, otherwise I might have passed it. Being one of the few occupied homes on the block meant a lot of darkness. The city even stopped running power to the streetlights, so that made it all more difficult. I glanced down at the filly, who continued to sleep in the jacket as I carried her. She was no longer shivering. She felt quite warm. That's the end of part 2. Sorry for my misreads and small stutters. Like I said, this is my first book reading, almost ever.